super blue moon on August 30th. This is a very mystical and healing full moon. Second full moon we've had in August. Makes it a blue moon. So this is opposite of retrograde Mercury. Venus is still retrograde. In fact, we have 6 planets retrograde. So there's some really slow energy. I know you're feeling this. Things are sluggish. You want things to move. It's time to get going. It's just about September. Well, there's some healing that needs to take place first, and this full moon is going to illuminate that on many levels. In fact, it can help us heal the deepest of pain, things that we haven't been able to touch before, and really create healthy boundaries for ourselves so that we can have the kind of harmonious relationships and do what we've come here to do, and have harmony on all of those levels. It's a real opportunity to bring in a deep level of balance and healing. Hi, I'm Prema, and thank you so much for being here. Welcome to Chart Your Path. You're going to want to know where your ascendant is and where your moon is. This is Vedic astrology, the sidereal zodiac, and so I have a free chart calculator, and you can grab that in the description below or on my website, solutionary.com. And this is a full moon reading here, and I always hold a full moon sacred healing circle on August 30th. It's virtual. If you can't attend, the recording is sent to everyone, and it is highly transformative, and I encourage you to check that out as well. And you can do that also in the link down in the description or in the comments or wherever you're seeing this, and also on my website, Solutionary, SOULUTIONARY.com. I appreciate you subscribing, liking, and sharing so much. The super blue moon on August 30th at 6:35 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time is at 13 degrees of Aquarius. Yes, this is Vedic astrology in the nakshatra of Shadabishak and very close to the planet Saturn in Aquarius, which is retrograde. And again, we have a Mercury retrograde opposite. Venus is retrograde as well. Jupiter's about to go retrograde, standing still. I'll talk about all of that in my September update, so look for that coming very, very soon, and subscribe and you'll make sure you get a notification for that. So this is a very visionary and healing because it's in the sign of Aquarius, and that's what Aquarius is all about. And it does have the ability to really illuminate some of our old traumas and things we haven't seen before. Now, being a full moon, a full moon brings the light of consciousness. The moon rules collectively the consciousness for all of us, and it gives us the ability to see things that we couldn't see before, bring consciousness to that level so that we can make some different choices about those things, so we can clear those things. And it brings harmony, a full moon does always, to where the new moon, the lunar cycle happened, which happened to be at 29 degrees of Cancer, really close to Venus retrograde. So there's a lot up about the relationship issues, and we'll be doing some deep relationship healing in the full moon healing circle on August 30th, as well as really uncovering just what's going to show up that you haven't been able to see before that's been holding you back. This nakshatra of Shadabishak is ruled by the star of 100 healers or physicians, and it really opens up a healing portal for us to solve some of our deepest mysteries and grant miracles, it's said, that are helpful to really heal those stubborn wounds and traumas. It really can help us with healing on every level of our being, whether it's psychological, physical, emotional, or our spiritual healing. Remember that whenever we have a full moon, we have the sun, the great leader, or the king in the Sacred Wealth Code Archetype system, and the queen, the moon, opposite one another. So very royal indeed, especially because the sun happens to be in Leo right now, really amplifying our leadership, amplifying our confidence, giving us that courage. We've got that feeling we can do a lot, but at the same time, there's a lot in retrograde. I'll talk a lot about the retrograde energy in my September update, but keep in mind that not all time is created equal. And even though in the 3D world, on a linear level, we should get things done at a certain time of year, and and it should take a certain number of hours or days or years. The truth is, not all time is created equal. And if we attend to the energy first, then we can ride timelines much differently. It's a time to reevaluate. And when we take the time to reevaluate, and on the full moons really evaluate, clean out, clear out, do our healing, then we are able to move forward at a different pace, and a lot of times on a different timeline. That's what we do in the healing circles. We jump timelines. We accelerate time, so to speak, by clearing whatever is holding us back. And again, the link for that is in the description or in the comments down below. Shadabisha is symbolized by a circle. And if you think of a circle without a dot in the center like a bullseye, but a circle, and like we hold in the healing circle, it is a force field of energy with a very unknown energy in the center. But by holding that force field, that circle that is cast, and we hold a certain energy, the mysteries in the center, the unknown, can reveal itself to us. And this nakshatra, this full moon, has that energy to it. Shadabisha is ruled by Rahu. Rahu is the great magician. Rahu is currently in Aries. Aries about our self-expression, our enthusiasm, where we've birthed something new, and our personal liberation, which a lot of the eclipses have been about. And we're about to shift to the last eclipse into the last eclipses of the year in October. More about that in the September update. Now, Saturn is with this full moon, almost in conjunction, very, very close to this full moon. Saturn is always, that's our great organizer, administrator. Saturn is the planet of truth or consequences. Saturn is going to show us our limitations always. And Saturn is said to walk with a limp. It takes what we believe to be true and it puts it under pressure, just like putting a rock under a pressure. And if there's really a gem inside of it, it'll come out a beautiful, finely faceted gem. And if it's not, it'll be crushed to dust. So it takes our truth. It takes to the surface, our awareness, and it puts it under pressure. So there's some truths that get busted up. And that's a good thing, because what we believe to be true at one time may not be true for us now. And that's a good thing to know. So Saturn brings this sense of seriousness to this full moon. And I bring that up because Saturn is incredibly powerful as far as releasing our attachments in any of our moves forward, our up levels, our healing. Means that we have to break some of our attachments. So this is very helpful in doing that, but it's going to bring some truths to the surface. So buckle up for that. Okay. We're going to see that collectively as well, not just for ourselves personally, but what plays out in the collective as far as some truths coming to the surface where we're all going to be going, oh, I thought that was true and it's not. Now, Mercury is opposite this full moon in Leo, and that's our great communicator. And it is retrograde. So there's, the clarity that Mercury normally brings is a little bit different at this point. There's a lot of mental brilliance because it is illuminated in the Buddha Aditya Yoga in Leo, but communication is a little bit hindered at this time. So that Mercury is causing us to reevaluate things, which will help during this full moon and help us see some things as long as we're not trying to communicate too quickly. So we want to take heed of that. Venus retrograde is also playing out during this time. And really, we have the opportunity to dig deeper into some of the shadow sides of our relationship energy. We worked on this a lot in the full moon healing circle at the beginning of August. The replay is still available, and we'll take that to the next level with this healing circle as well. And so really asking you to notice, your people-pleasing patterns, your overgiving, where you're giving your power away, where you're in the illusion of some relationships that are serving you that are not serving you, and where you need to step up and really step up to some of maybe being more clear and clean, or accepting, or being the one who does bring harmony to some relationships. So when that turns direct on the 3rd of September, 3rd, 4th of September, that you can do so more clearly and make some new choices for yourself. And when you make a choice for yourself, you're making choices for others as well. Shadabisha, this mystical and regal lunar mansion, 100 physicians or the healers to the gods, is connected to disease and it's connected to healing. It's both sides of things. It's also connected to light and dark, Maya and illusion. It's it gives us a lot of vital force and a lot of courage. And again, it bestows the gifts of the healing arts. So look, it's always time to do our healing, right? But this is a very sacred energy. It really brings out the inner healer. And people, in fact, with this lunar mansion, ascendant, sun, moon, tend to be healers in their own rights, maybe healing groups using really out-of-the-box type of healing techniques. Typically, and this is what happens to be where my moon is, and so I've been called into the healing professions, quite early in life, and that shifts and changes over time. With Rahu, the magician, being the ruler of this nakshatra, it's always going to be very creative. So this brings out in all of us some of the out-of-the-box kind of mysterious healing that can happen during this time. First for yourself, and then as it's in we bring in the energy of Aquarius. How can we heal the collective? So contemplate the soul wisdom question of what is it that what is the healing that you are called to do for yourself? And we'll go into this deeply in the healing circle. But what is the healing you're called to do for yourself? And then the collective, which can be done in many different ways. So we all are participating we're all at service in some way. And when we know it's good to know where Aquarius is in your chart, and that's why I give you the free chart calculator, so that you know what house that rules. It might rule your 8th house of transformation and transcendence. It might rule your 10th house of business and money and career. It just depends on where the finer level of where this energy will play out. Or if you get a reading, of course, we can go deep into all of these things for you. But your healing might come through writing. It might come through entertaining. It might come through working with people through counseling or through being a physician yourself. It might come through a kind of service work you do, or something that you might not think is connected to healing, but the way you speak with people or what creates healing, or your art could create healing. So there's a lot of different ways that the healing can play out. Shadabishak is also connected to herbal remedies, and the Aquarius in Vedic astrology is represented by the water bearer and is said to pour forth the cosmic waters to nourish humanity. So in this placement, in this full moon, there's a deeper level, a collective level. How can we heal humanity? Well, number one is we heal ourselves. When we heal ourselves, we are doing our part. Like if everyone just healed themselves, humanity would be in great shape. But then we also need each other. And then what are we being called to give of service, to channel our healing through? In truth, if you're channeling your gifts, and that's what the Sacred Wealth Code is all about, if you're channeling your gifts, that is also going to play into your healing for humanity. But you're going to get some more clarity around that on this full moon. So sit in meditation, take the time, come to the healing circle, deep contemplation, walks in nature, breathing practices, Kundalini yoga. These things it's a beautiful opening for that can bring in a lot of healing energy. So what are you being called to, again, in your greater service? So that's part of what this full moon is about. And through your greatest service, what are you being called to? Like, what do you want for humanity as far as humanity's healing? In this time of the Venus retrograde and our focus on relationships, all of life, unless we're living as a hermit, is about relationships, whether it's personal or business or our purpose and service in the world. At every level, it's about relationships. And the more clear and clean and harmonious our relationships are, the more freed up we are, the more in service we are, and the more the cosmic fabric of humanity can work together. So what are you healing in your relationship with others? Another soul wisdom question to contemplate during this full moon. This full moon can really bloom our inner potential on so many levels, help you see your own spirituality, your own cosmic nature. Again, so dive into your spiritual practices. Very, very important, whether that's, yoga, meditation, journaling, sitting in nature, whatever it is, kundalini, whatever it is. One more thing. Varuna, the god of medicines and wisdom, is the deity here, a very powerful mystical healer. And again, is the lord of Maya, an illusion, and also of light. We can see the dark and see the light with this placement, so we want to channel the energy appropriately. The primary motivation here is dharma. That's our purpose. And Aquarius has a lot to do with our purpose in general, and gives us a lot of courage, a lot of ability to connect inward to the deeper meaning and issues of things. So again, a couple more soul questions to contemplate. Where are you sabotaging yourself? Where are your power struggles? And where are you being called to heal your relationships? I so love to hear your answers, what's coming up for you, what you're dealing with, what your ahas are in the comments. I read all my comments. I invite you again to come to the Full Moon Healing Circle on August 30th. If you're not there, don't worry. You'll get the recording. You get a lifetime access to that. And we'll do some deep healing together during that time. We do mantra, we do sound healing. A lot of channeling and cleaning and clearing comes through. A lot of energy is moved during these healing circles, and you'll get also a deeper understanding of the energies at play and specifically what that means for you. All right, so much love to you, and I look forward to being again with you soon for the September update.